What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the new channel. So, here's the deal. Bought this NES about a week ago off of eBay as untested. Okay? Get it home, plug it in, and it's not wanting to read game cartridges. Now, I know that this necessarily means that it's not the pin connector. But let me tell you why I think it is the pin connector. So, the other night when I brought it home and I got it plugged in, got it all hooked up, I cleaned the pins and I cleaned the pins on my game here. And I got it to work one time. But that one time I got it to work, I put it in. I turned it on, okay? And it just obviously did that. Now, I pushed it in, and at that one time, I got it to, like, push in further. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, it had a loose connection. I hit the restart, and I had it working. Now, as you can see, obviously, I'm not getting it to do that now. I've messed with it. I have not gotten it to read again since. So, although it may not be the issue, we are going to replace the pin connector. And hopefully that fixes the issue. If not, who knows what we're going to do from there. But first, we're going to replace that pin connector. And I'm going to take you guys with me to show you how I'm going to do it. Alright, so we're going to begin the repair. I got the pin connector right here. I do apologize if it's kind of hard to see. All I got is a tripod, and I'm doing this on a little table. If my dogs bark or anything, I do apologize. So, first things first, I'm getting into my toolkit, and we're going to get what we are going to need. This is the toolkit I use. It's got all good kinds of bits and stuff in there. And to take out the screws, we will be using this screwdriver, just because my kit does not have something that's long enough to get down in the holes. I would use my electric screwdriver, but it's not the greatest. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take all 6 of these screws out of the bottom of the NES. Give me just a second. Okay. Now, at some point, once I get inside here, I may have to use my other phone and get on iFixit, as I use that website quite often when doing these kind of repairs. If you have not used iFixit, iFixit is just a website that has all different kinds of repairs, not just for video games, but for consoles, phones, laptops, tablets. And I think there's even some for cars on there. So if you haven't checked that out, I do recommend checking them out when you want to try to do your own repairs. So right now, like I said, we're just taking the screws out of the bottom of the NES to get the top off of the console. And like I said, I do apologize if the view is not the greatest. I'm a one-man show here, so literally all I got is my phone and tripod. Okay. So all those screws should be out. We don't want to lose them because they are going to fall out. Okay, and there they go. So there's one. Go ahead and pick that up so we can get the other screws. Only one other screw fell out. That's because we did not get one of them out all the way. So there's 3 of them. We got to loosen these up some more. Trying to see which ones did not fall out. Okay, so all 3 on the back side did not fall out. So let's see if we can't loosen those up some more. think I got that one loosened. Now, if you're not comfortable doing your own repairs, I don't recommend doing it. I'm just doing it because I'm trying to learn. And it was not that big of a gamble for me to try and do it myself. Okay, they're loose now. And there they go. Well, there went one of them. There went, and there they both went. Okay, so we got them all out now. So the top is now free to come off. I do have to admit, it is pretty clean in this console. The person I bought it from said it was in a storage unit and that they had not messed with it in years. So it is a little dusty. I mean, run my flashlight over it here. It is a little dusty. We'll probably clean that up while we're in here. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to take off this metal cover, which is held on by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws. We are going to try to keep those screws separate from our outer casing screws. And while I'm doing this, I just want to tell you guys that you're going to be seeing a lot of these kind of videos on this channel. That's what this channel was made for. Buying untested consoles to test and try to get working. Shell swaps. Keep an eye out on a video coming up. I am going to attempt a shell swap on a Nintendo Switch 2. Don't know when that's going to come out. I got to work up the guts to want to do it. If you're not comfortable doing things like that, I do not recommend it. You know, unless you just want to. It's something I'm just going to attempt. I've already done a shell swap on a Wii and an N64. Might show you guys those later. I did not do videos on those. That's actually what gave me the idea to want to start doing these kind of videos. Is for reasons like that. So. Alright, that should be our last screw. That metal plate comes right off. Now, here's what I'm going to start using iFixit. So, just to give you guys an idea, this is what their game console repair page looks like. You just go to Nintendo, Nintendo Home Console, and NES is the first one. And depending on the system, they got all different kinds of guides. Like they got the one we need right here, the 72-pin connector, cartridge cover, cartridge outlet, or controller outlet, excuse me, game cartridge tray, all different kinds of stuff. And they even, on most consoles, they even have the complete teardown. So, we're going to go ahead and go to the 72-pin connector here. We've already done that. We've already removed that. So here's where we're at now. So we got to remove those 4 screws, and that tray slot or game cartridge slot should just slide out. So we are going to do that now. I'm seeing 2 screws right here side by side. It's not telling me which one to take off. I'm assuming the one in the front, because apparently there's not supposed to be one in the back. But there is here, so... set these screws up here. Okay, that screw's not wanting to come out of there. Hopefully we can get it to come out when we get the other ones out. And there goes that one. Setting those up there. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. Okay. Yeah, okay, so I'm trying to see. I don't want to break the console, but for some reason that screw right there is not wanting to come out. We're going to go and take these two out, because according to what I'm seeing, they're not supposed to even be here. According to the guide I'm looking at right here. Forgive me, I am not in the proper chair for this, so my back is hurting a little bit. Okay. The only concerning part is that one screw is kind of holding us up. And I don't know why it's not wanting to come out of its slot there. Like, it's loose, but it's not wanting to come out of its slot here. Other than that, we should be able to remove this. I'm looking at the guide here. It says you should be able to slide the cartridge tray towards me when it's facing the right way. And it should come out of there, but it's not wanting to. I think that one screw that's not wanting to come up is causing us an issue. Even though, like I said, if you look right here, it is loose, so I'm not sure. There it went. Pair of tweezers always gets the job done. Alright, so we should be able now to go like that. We got the cartridge tray out. On to our next step here. See what that next step is. Alright, so the next step here, they're showing underneath the cartridge tray. So, like, it's kind of hard to see. Is a black trapezoid tap/lip. When properly assembled, this goes below the motherboard and shielding as seen here. We're going to look. I don't see what they're talking about because I think it's actually underneath here. So it's kind of hard for us to see right now. So now they got us taking the motherboard out. As you can see here, just 3 screws on the side. Okay, there's 1. 2 is a little hard to see over here. Trying to keep it where you guys can see. But I also have to be able to see. And then where's that 3rd one? It shows that 3rd one should be over here and it is gone. I don't know. Maybe I already removed that. I do not know. Okay. So now we should be able to get this screw out. Whoops. And flip this board over. Okay. Trying to see what I'm looking at here. Okay, now that we got it flipped, He says to disconnect the wiring harness from the motherboard. Trying to see how easy that is to do. I don't want to break these, so we are trying to be very careful. Okay. Okay. We are disconnected. We're going to set the frame off to the side somewhere while we continue. Okay. So now here we are with this. I should be able to just pull this shield up. And there we go. So we see how this cartridge slot is on there. I already got the screws out, so it should, in theory, wanted to say that it should slide off of there. It's kind of hard to get on and off. Yep. All right. So there's the old pin connector. I was trying to see any indication that this was an OEM pin connector. I don't know if they had it labeled or anything. But anyway, and like I said, this may not even be the issue. We're just trying to eliminate all possible issues. All right, so here's our new pin connector. Almost kind of looks like the one we just took off. So in theory, we should be able to slide this right back onto the board like so. I think I got it on there right. Okay, I'm pretty sure I got that on there right. Or do I? Okay. Okay, so I actually had it backwards. So that's not what you want to do. Hopefully I didn't just mess it up. I might have. We won't know till we get it put back together. It is what it is. Again, I got it cheap enough, you know. If anything, this tells you guys what not to do when you're doing a repair. Okay. So now all those steps we just did, now we got to do in reverse. So we put this shielding back on here. Trying to figure out how it went. I know some of you guys watching this are like, what the heck are you doing, dude? Like, y'all probably know what you're doing, and y'all are watching me screw this up. Hey, you know, it's a learning process. So now we need the chassis back to reconnect the motherboard into place here. I think, yeah, okay. Just trying to make sure I'm doing this right. And if you guys see anything that I could have done or should have done differently, y'all let me know. Again, this is like for practicing purposes and for fun. It's not necessarily that big of a deal. I know y'all can't really see what I'm doing on camera, but I am reconnecting all of our connectors here. Trying to, anyway. Okay. So back in she goes into the chassis. Trying to get all the wires back into their places here without putting them somewhere that they're not supposed to be. And get her lined back up in the chassis, which I believe we just did. Okay. So now we go back another step. He's saying something about a little tab. I don't see that tab that he is referring. So maybe I'm just missing something. I don't know. Oh, here it is. It's on this. My bad. And he's saying that should go below the motherboard. So, okay. So we are ready to slide this puppy back into place if I can figure out how to do so. Trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong here. Sorry, I know I just took that away from you guys. I thought I put this back in right, but it's looking like I may not have. Oh no. What did I do wrong here? Trying to figure out what I did wrong. Like, y'all tell me, what am I doing wrong here? Hopefully I'll figure it out, but I might not. I can't figure out why this will not go back under the cartridge slot. Like, it don't line up. Trying to figure this out here. Okay, so it's supposed to like snap in there, but I don't understand why it's not. Ah, here we go. Progress. Well, maybe. Okay. Now it's showing, he said that that is supposed to go underneath the motherboard when properly assembled. I don't think we're there yet, so this is a lot more complicated than I think it should be. Okay. All our screw holes are lining up. Now it's time to put this thing back together. So one thing we did not do that we were supposed to do, which we are going to do now, we are going to put these screws back into place. And tighten them down. Now, according to this guide, there were supposed to be 3 screws. There's only 2. So that tells me that someone has been in here before. And I got a feeling that that's why I don't recognize that pin connector. I think I've never seen the inside of one of these before. But I'm almost certain that a 72 pin connector on a NES I'm almost certain, and y'all can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I'm almost certain that the pin connector is supposed to be branded like with the Nintendo logo, you would think, but it is not. So I don't know what that means. Maybe it's not supposed to be. What do I know? Okay, so we do have 6 screws here. The 2 silver ones were in the back. So they were the ones here and here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and tighten those 2 down. By the way, if not on this one, on a different one, I will be doing a shell swap on an NES, on a working one for my collection. I recently started collecting game consoles. And in that collecting, I like to do the shell swaps as I talked about earlier. I already did one on my Wii and on my N64. On the PS5 that I own, I'm just going to get like different plates. Because obviously, you know, that is your shell, is the plates. So yeah, I'm just going to do that. Try to scoot this where you guys can see. Make sure that these are getting tight. Hopefully this works. If not, again, I probably messed up because I will tell you guys I screwed up big time. I put the pin connector on backwards when I was putting it on the motherboard, so I probably screwed up one of the 2. You know, it is what it is. Now, and again, I don't think these screws are supposed to be here because they're not showing that they're supposed to be. But, you know, what the heck. We'll leave them in. They're not hurting nothing, I don't think. Okay. Now, time for our metal plate. Make sure all of our holes are lining up like they're supposed to. Give me just a second here. Oh, that metal plate was not sitting back down right, and I see why. I didn't get that screw all the way down. That is my bad there. But that's as far down as I can get it to go. Oh, no, there we go. Okay. Try that again. That's better. That's a lot better. Okay. Now we are going to put these screws back in. Feel free to skip this part if you want to. We are going to go ahead and get it all put back together. And then we are going to test. Again, if this does not fix the issue, I mean, it is what it is. At least, if anything on this video, you guys saw what not to do when working on an NES. Because I know I messed some things up. But, you know, I mean, it's a learning process and you guys are learning with me. Get all these screws tightened. Once we do that, we will throw that top cover back on. Sorry, I'm trying to keep where you guys can see here. I think we're pretty much done with the website. Okay. Okay, all those screws are tightened back down. Now, time to put the top cover back on. And again, at this point, we're just hoping that that fixed the issue. It may have, it may not have, who knows. Again, you know, I know that, you know, not reading games doesn't mean that it's the pin connector. But, you know, it never hurts to try, right? So. So, again, we are going to do more repairs like this, even if we don't get this working. It's not going to stop me. I'm going to learn from my mistakes and get better. Again, that's what this channel is all about. It's just trying to, you know, work on my skills. Like, because even when I don't get them working, I do enjoy doing this. It's kind of cool. It's fun. Like, I really do like doing this kind of work. Okay. All right. We are put back together. I'm going to get it plugged up and we're going to see if we messed up or not. All right. I got it all plugged in. The game is already inside the console. Let's turn it on and see what we got. We got a blue screen, so that's a progress. Give me just a second. Let's see what we can do here. Blue screen again. Give me 1 second, guys. Alright, guys, so I've been messing with it for a second. Unfortunately, it looks like something happened. Let me know if you guys know what's causing that. I'm going to do some research on it, and when I have an update, I'll let you guys know. But this is progress from where we started. I may try another game. I don't think it's the game, but you never know. Alright, guys, back here with another update. So I decided to put the old pin connector back on because I'm starting to assume that that game was just bad. And I put in the Super Mario Bros. And here was the deal. So the first couple times I kept getting the blue screen, kept unplugging and plugging back in, and then all of a sudden, whoa! Now it's working. Now, I did pop this game out, put that game back in, still not working on it. But this one, I popped it back in and it's still working. So, give me a second. So as you see, took the game out, put it back in, snapped it back in. It does that every now and then for some reason. And then, voila. So, don't know what the issue was, but we got it fixed. So, now, that is going to be the end of the video. Stay tuned for more repairs and shelf swaps and all kinds of stuff.